Today we're going on a road trip. We're going from Los Angeles all the way to Santa Barbara. So we should be able to get close to draining 100% of the battery. Right now I charged all the way up to 100% last night, but for some reason it only charged up to 98%. Let me give you the stats so far. So here are the initial stats so far. We just drove 1 mile. You can see there it says 98% of the battery, and if we switch that, it switches to 297 miles. So even at 100%, it's like right over 300 miles in terms of estimated range. You can see so far the total miles we've driven on the Model Y is 2,761 miles at 310 watt hours per mile efficiency. So the lower the number you want, like you can see trip A, we're at 282 miles, and so we're gonna see like how much range we can get in real world use. And I'm not gonna baby this thing. I'm gonna go like 80 to 85 miles an hour. Of course though, there's gonna be traffic along the way. I mean, right now it says like 2 hours and 2.5 hours just to even get there, and so we won't even be able to go like a full 80 that whole time. But let's see, let's get on our way, and hopefully we can, I mean, it says right now estimated 56% when we get there, and I would imagine it's gonna burn another, what, 45% on the way back. So we should be able to get back home with like close to 0%. So this will be a good accurate reading of how many miles in real use case, like real world driving without babying it along the way. And this is fun. I totally forgot that in the Model Y you have to pay for premium connectivity, which is $10 a month or $100 a year, and so I forgot to subscribe. So I'm probably going to do that, but in the meantime I can connect to my personal hotspot on my cell phone and then just connect to Wi-Fi. So a little bit of a workaround. You could get a hotspot. There's people doing like Starlinks with this instead, and so maybe it's a little bit better use of capital, like $10 a month or $100 a year, but I guess time will tell. Because the one thing I really love about having the premium connectivity is the real map or navigation on the actual road. When you don't have it, I don't know, I just like being able to see like where I'm going, what type of parking it is, and I guess you don't even get that even when you have it connected to a Wi-Fi, so that kind of sucks.
One eternity later.
So we've been driving for almost 2 hours now, and I want to say the efficiency has been doing really good so far. Let me show you. Here's the stats so far. 67 miles, 1 hour and 38 minutes, tons of traffic. I want to say our average speed is maybe like 50 to 60 miles an hour, even though right now we're at going 70 miles an hour. Full self driving has been on like 90% of the way, and our watt hour per mile is 252, which not too bad when you compare it to like our total watt hour per mile for our whole lifetime of this Model Y. So pretty good so far. We probably got another 45 minutes to our destination, and then we'll see where we're at. And in terms of the battery range, we're down to 75% of the battery, which is 227 miles of range. It says we're going to arrive with 59% of the battery, which is pretty good actually if you think about it. We've only used like 32% of the battery total for this total drive if we arrive with 59%. So just getting to our destination now, and this has been a very, very, very long drive. I think 2 hours and 45 minutes. We've driven a ton. We had to stop once to go to the bathroom, of course. Just going off that, I mean, if we had to charge, that would probably wouldn't have been a perfect time. The total watt hours per mile is 262, which is pretty good, I would say. I don't know what the math is, but we can probably calculate that a little later. And total miles has been 115 miles. We're arriving with about 59% of the battery. We were doing a little bit good about midway through. It was showing like we would arrive with 60% of the battery, but either way, this is a good shot because we should be arriving back home using almost all of the battery, and we'll be able to get a good snapshot on how many miles that actually is with a real world commute, going real speeds, not trying to stay like 70 miles an hour, but real use through traffic and everything. But we're gonna do a couple things here, and then we'll be on our way back to Los Angeles. So leaving now from Santa Barbara, and it seems like if we go all the way home now, we'll actually arrive with 17% of the battery, which definitely much more than I actually expected, which would put, this is like another 115, 114 mile trip back home, and I think that puts us in like the mid to high 200s range for the real world mileage with 17% to spare. So I guess let's see how long it takes to get back home. 2 hours and 6 minutes through traffic through Los Angeles, and then do a calculation of how many more miles it could potentially go by going to 0%. And I guess I forgot to talk about the conditions of this drive. Nice and sunny, maybe cloudy in the morning, 65 to 74 degrees as the temperature. Very, very nice as we go on our trip all the way back home.
2,000 years later.
Just getting back now. Super long day in terms of driving. Let me just show you the stats, because actually the car did pretty well. This new Model Y, pretty efficient, and we've arrived back home with much more battery than I was expecting. So here are the stats. We arrived with 17%. So to recap everything, we left with 98% of the battery, almost 100%, down to 70%. Or 17% with 51 miles left on the battery. Here's the actual stats. You can see total miles today, 234 miles, 61 kilowatts of battery at a 258 watt-hour per mile. So if we do the math, it's pretty good, about 3.83 miles per kilowatt of mileage per actual kilowatts of batteries and everything. So I would say the new Model Y, super comfortable. And if we were to go another 51 miles, which who knows if that's actually correct, maybe even 40 miles, that puts it at about a real world range, usable range of about 260 to 270, maybe even 280 miles of range. But let us know your thoughts on that. I mean, this Model Y is a very, very comfortable vehicle. And when you combine it with full self-driving, that was a super easy drive, just really long at the end of the day. But thanks for watching. Please hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.